the scariest inhuman entities ever caught on camera. It began one quiet night in 2008 when strange footage showed up online. The clip came from a small CCTV camera, and soon the world could not stop watching it. The video showed something walking in the dark, something with long legs and a round head. There were no arms, no chest, only thin limbs moving like sticks. People online felt a chill as they watched, unsure of what they were seeing. Some thought it looked too real to be made on a computer, while others felt the poor picture made it hard to tell. The image looked rough and broken, yet the movement felt too smooth to be fake. 3 years later, in 2011, a couple living near Yosemite set up a camera by their home. They were tired of small break-ins and hoped to find who came at night. When the new clip played, their hearts jumped. On the screen, the same stick-like shapes walked again through the drive, slow and silent under the moonlight. The sight was just like the first one. Long legs, soft steps, and no body at all. People who saw both videos began to wonder who or what they were. Then, some found carvings made by native people long ago. These old tree marks showed the same thin shapes with long legs and round heads. The match felt strange, almost too close to ignore. Could it be the same being seen in those old carvings still walking in the dark after so many years? No one ever found the truth, yet the image stayed in many minds. Each time the clip plays, someone new feels that quiet fear, watching the tall stick figures move with slow, careful steps under the pale light. Like a moth drawn toward a flicker in the dark, this next moment pulled many eyes with quiet fear. In 2009, a short clip appeared online with a title written in simple words, "Flying Girl in Russian Wood." The channel that posted it never shared anything again. The only note left said that the person had been walking a dog through the woods when this strange sight was caught on camera. The voice in the note spoke with surprise, saying they did not expect to meet anyone there. The clip showed a small girl floating a few feet above the ground. Her feet never touched the earth, and her small body hung still in the air while a woman, believed to be her mother, stood nearby. The air around them looked calm, and nothing seemed to lift her. For a short moment, she turned her head as if looking down, unsure of what kept her from falling. Then, she slowly lowered herself back to the ground, and both figures walked away into the trees.
Tarzan, ко мне!
When the video was studied more closely, people noticed that her eyes kept moving down as though she could not understand what was holding her up. Viewers began to wonder how it could happen. Some believed the whole thing was a trick. Others thought the woman beside her somehow made it happen. And then there were those who whispered of something else unseen in the frame. Could something hidden be lifting the girl into the air? People said ghosts could not move the living, only demons could. Yet nothing about this quiet moment felt like a trick. The woods stayed silent, the wind never stirred, and the girl floated gently as if the earth itself had let her go. From one mystery in the woods to another hidden among the tombs, this next moment drifted in like a cold breath from the past. The story took place deep in Mexico, far from crowds and lights, where the ground held more secrets than footsteps. A well-known man who had once been seen on a reality show decided to test a rumor that had followed him for weeks. People had whispered of a spirit that wandered through a graveyard after midnight, seen by many and feared by all. With only a camera in his hand, he walked into that quiet place, hoping to find proof of what others only spoke of. The hour was close to 1:30 in the morning. The moon hung low, its glow falling across tilted stones and old names carved into them long ago. The man spoke softly into the camera, his voice trembling as he called into the dark. His light swept over the ground, moving from one grave to another. Every shadow looked alive, and every sound made his steps slower. Then, something shifted in the corner of the frame, a small figure standing between the graves. The camera caught what looked like a young girl, still and pale, dressed in white. Her shape was clear enough to see, yet she did not move the way people do. The man froze, breathing hard, unsure of what stood before him. He whispered a few words, but there was no reply. The girl turned her head slowly, her face blank, her eyes dark and empty. Then she began to walk toward him. The sound of her small feet echoed across the stones, soft and steady, like a rhythm from somewhere far away.
No está más lógico una niña llorando en un cementerio a las 12 de la noche. Bueno, más. A la 1:30. Me a escuchar. Hay una ahí.
Fear broke through his voice as he turned and ran. The camera shook wildly, and the air filled with the sound of his steps. Then came the most chilling part. From behind him, a scream rose through the night, sharp and high like a cry torn from another world. It echoed off the stone walls and seemed to chase him as he fled from the cemetery.
Amiga! Niña! Ay, no seas imbécil.
When the clip ended, people were left with questions that no one could answer. Some said it was staged, others swore it felt too real. Yet everyone agreed that the scream sounded far too human to forget. From lonely graveyards to deep forests, some stories move like whispers through time, and none feel older or darker than the one about the Rake. This strange figure has no clear beginning, yet its name has appeared in writings across 4 continents. The earliest words about it were found in records from the 12th century, between the years 1100 and 1200. However, the first clear account came from a mariner's log in 1691. The sailor wrote that something came to him in his sleep from the foot of his bed. He felt a strong pull, as if the thing had taken everything from him. His final words said they would return to England and never come back, for it was the wish of the Rake. Years passed and more writings began to surface. In the 1800s, a Spanish journal spoke of a pale creature with hollow eyes that seemed to follow whoever saw it. Then, in 1964, a note left behind by a man who ended his life mentioned the Rake again. The handwriting trembled as if written in fear. With each century, the story grew stronger, crossing oceans and creeping into every kind of tale. Many say the Rake lives in thick forests, hidden where light can barely touch the ground. One man in Louisiana once left a camera in the woods to record what moved there at night. When he returned, the camera was broken, its body crushed, yet the memory card was still inside. The image found on it showed a pale, thin creature crouching close to the earth, its eyes empty and dark. That single picture spread quickly, reaching the news and stirring fear everywhere it was seen. Then, in 2011, a routine telescopic search near Liverpool caught something else. Workers from the Northwest Water Company saw a shape moving deep underground where no person could stand. It appeared on 3 separate nights, shifting slowly through the tunnels, its body bent and long. No one has ever proved what it was, yet each new sighting feels the same. The pale figure with hollow eyes still appears in stories, still hiding where the night feels thickest, still waiting for the next light to catch its shape in the dark. After the stories from the deep woods, this next one took place in a quiet cemetery filled with old stones and still air. In 2011, a group called Dorset Ghosts went to Dorchester Cemetery in the middle of the night. They brought a camera that could see heat and cold, hoping to catch signs of something that people could not see. As they moved between the graves, their screen suddenly showed a shape that made them stop.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is that?
It looked like a person sitting on the stone steps, yet it had no warmth at all. The camera showed red for heat, blue for cold, and this shape was all blue and black. It looked solid, not like smoke or shadow, but when one of the team members tried to sit beside it, the shape vanished right before their eyes. The spot stayed cold, and the group stood in silence, unsure of what they had seen.
Shadow, a face staring in there. Look at the top of it. Where that motion, like where that light is.
Yeah. That's where the motion sensor is.
Yeah.
Months later, they returned to the same place. This time, they carried another tool called an EMF detector, a small device that could pick up energy in the air. The moment they turned it on, it began to flash and beep. The team spoke softly, saying they meant no harm and only wanted to talk. Soon, they began to feel strange things. One person said something touched his hair. Another felt his hand grow cold, and the beeping grew faster.
Whoa. I'll tell you, this is absolutely incredible, yeah?
The air around them felt heavy, and faint laughter drifted through the dark. Someone whispered that whatever was there did not want peace. It wanted to hurt them. Still, the crew tried to stay calm, asking gentle questions while the strange sound of laughter echoed again. Then, one of them, named Glenn, started feeling sick. His face turned pale, and his steps grew weak. The others rushed to help him as the detector kept flashing.
Just end it in now, yeah?
Huh?
Just end it in there.
We'll end it.
Yeah.
Alright. Glenn's now being sick. Alright, we're gonna have to end.
The night felt colder with every breath, and the soft wind seemed to move around the graves as if something unseen still watched them. Some say the cold shape never left, waiting quietly on those steps where no warmth ever stays for long. From the cold cemetery to old locked doors, this next story moved into a place built for silence and fear. The video came from a young creator called Junked Up Kitten. It showed a boy exploring an empty jail that had been closed for many years. In the video's notes, he wrote that he and a few of his friends had spent nearly 6 hours inside the old county jail. Their father knew the building manager, who gave them permission to explore for fun.
All right, so we're in the phase of the investigation now where everybody breaks off in their own little areas with, a handy cam, and we're just sort of checking around to see if we can find anything.
They carried small cameras and decided to play a game. They wanted to make their own version of a ghost show they had seen on TV, just kids joking around with no plan to find anything real. They laughed as they split up, each going down a different hallway with their flashlights. The old metal doors hung open, and the room smelled of rust and dust. Every sound echoed through the halls, making even their footsteps sound like whispers.
Just sort of checking around.
The boy filmed his path through long corridors lined with cells. The walls were covered with scratches and old writing from people who had once been locked inside. At first, everything seemed calm, only the sound of his shoes tapping on the floor. Then, something strange happened. As he turned a corner, his camera caught a faint movement in one of the cells. It looked like a shadow standing by the bars, still and tall. The boy stepped closer, whispering softly, thinking maybe one of his friends was trying to scare him. The figure did not move. The air grew cold, and the sound of a low breath filled the hall. The boy turned and ran back, calling out for his friends. Later, when they watched the recording, the shadow could still be seen standing there, half hidden behind the iron bars. Some say it looked like the shape of a man watching the group from the dark, maybe a spirit of someone who never left the place. Others think it was only light and dust, yet the moment felt too real to forget. Maybe, for one short night, the old jail remembered the people who once lived behind those walls. This video was filmed by a man who had been living in fear for months. He started recording from his balcony after hearing strange noises in his neighborhood. For several weeks, people nearby also reported the same thing. Strange sounds that echoed through the streets. They described low moans, scraping noises, and cries that sounded twisted and far away, coming from every direction. Families were scared and could not sleep. Children stayed inside once the sun went down. Locals even formed small search groups, walking through empty lots and dark alleyways to find what was making the sounds. Yet, every search ended the same way. Nothing was found. No person, no animal, no clear reason at all. As time passed, whispers spread that something dark and evil was haunting their town, a presence that only revealed itself when no one was meant to see. Then, one night, a man caught it on camera from his balcony. What made the recording so disturbing was the way the figure moved. It acted as if it had been watching for a long time, waiting and studying the people below. When it was spotted, it did not run. It stayed still, as if it wanted to be seen. Its slow, quiet movement and steady stance made it feel like it belonged there, among the shadows. That night, the frightened people of the neighborhood finally had proof. The thing that had haunted their nights was real. It had been walking their streets all along, just out of sight, hiding in the dark corners they never dared to check. This chilling video comes from Indonesia and shows a man exploring what he thought was an empty house late at night. Urban explorers often expect dangers like weak floors, falling ceilings, or maybe a trespasser hiding inside. However, very few imagine coming face to face with something supernatural. The man was filming his late-night adventure like he had done before, moving carefully through the dark lower floor. The house looked old and forgotten, with cracked walls, broken windows, and paint peeling from every corner. Everything seemed normal for an abandoned place, until an uneasy feeling made him stop and look up. There, from the second floor, something was staring down at him. When his camera tilted toward the upper balcony, a pale face appeared between the white pillars. Its eyes glowed faintly red, as if it was watching him the whole time. Shocked, the man stumbled back, his camera shaking wildly in fear. No one knows what that figure truly was. A ghost? A hidden person? Or a strange illusion? Yet the way it appeared, the timing, and the stillness of that pale face make it feel too real to dismiss. Whatever he captured inside that old house may be one of the most haunting pieces of evidence ever caught on camera. This mysterious video was recorded by a man named Andy Capp while he was traveling through the mountains with a friend. It was supposed to be a normal road trip, quiet and calm, until Andy noticed something strange far away on a nearby peak. Out of curiosity, he began to record.
What is it? It's a person, dude.
Both men knew that road very well. They had driven through those mountains many times, so they were sure about how the land usually looked. That was why the sight ahead felt wrong. Something was standing at the very top of the mountain, tall and still, as if it did not belong there.
No, seriously, pull over, pull over.
Andy and his friend stared in disbelief. From that distance, the shape looked huge, much larger than any person could be. Their voices grew tense as they argued about what they were seeing. One said it was a person, while the other refused to believe it.
It's standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, have you seen what I've seen right now?
The figure stood unmoving against the sky, its shape too tall to be a tree and too solid to be a trick of light. Andy later said he had never seen anything like it before. When he returned to the same spot the next day, the figure was gone. To this day, no one knows what he captured on camera, a trick of distance, a strange natural shape, or something far beyond human understanding. The mountain has stayed silent ever since, holding the mystery high above the clouds. From the strange Nightcrawlers that walked like shadows, to the pale figure that watched from the woods, each moment reminds us how little we truly understand about the dark. Which of these entities do you believe was real? Tell us below, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling mysteries caught on camera.